This episode of the Better To podcast is brought to you by Kitty Mystic and Needom, author of the Better To Burnout series, which includes her latest releases of Fairy Tales and I Love You and Is Love Just Another High. Hi, gang. Welcome to the Better To podcast with Needom. I'm your host, Needom. And today's guest on the podcast is Kingsley. Kingsley is a returning guest. The last time we spoke to her was a few seasons back, and she was living in Portland, Oregon, and she was about to embark on a journey to London, England, to do music and so much more. Well, she's back in Chicago now, and she released a new single called My Love. It's from her forthcoming album, Come and Find Me. So today we talk about that. We talk about a lot of different things, including her finding herself and how she got banned on Tinder. It may not be as scandalous as it seems, but there is a story. So tune in. Hi, gang. Donna from the Better To podcast here. If you've listened to my show, you know that it always sounds great. That's thanks to the guys at Third Ear Audio Productions. Third Ear Audio helps podcasters, broadcasters, musicians, and business owners get their important messages out to their audience. Rich and the Third Ear Audio team are easy to work with. They're efficient in understanding that your message is important to you. With quick turnaround and a true caring of your needs, Third Ear Audio is your go-to for any audio message. Reach out to Third Ear Audio at 312-388-5596. Rich and his team will deliver for you. That's 312-388-5596. Or you can email them at info@thirdearaudio.com or visit them on the web at www.thirdearaudio.com. Hi, Kingsley. How are you?
How are you?
I'm all right. Last time we talked, you were about to embark on a journey to jolly old England.
Yes, so much has happened since then.
Well, tell us a little bit about what happened.
Yeah, I did. I went to London for 6 months, and I was in Portugal for a little bit. I was in Iceland for a little bit. Came back to the States, back to Portland, but then I toured a lot. Spent some time in Dallas and Austin, finished my record. Yeah, so now like every weekend I'm like somewhere new, which is really great, but a little tiring, but it's been good.
And you just got back from New York.
Just got back from New York, so I think I slept 4 hours in like 48 in a span of 48 because I just love to be out and about and like meeting people and going from one bar to the next club to someone's house party.
Nice.
So yeah.
So what was London like? Your travels over there? I mean, you had great expectations of how it was going to be, and did it meet your expectations?
It exceeded my expectations. I got to record at Abbey Road, which was really cool and like out of this world. Yeah, in the same room as the Beatles. I learned a lot about myself. This whole record really is about my time just overseas, and you got to start from the ground up again of like believing in yourself, not having your circle, going out and meeting people. You know, you got to smile everywhere, you know, because you got to connect and meet with people. But yeah, my best friend, she lives there. She's doing her master's, and just getting to spend time with her the way that we did in high school was really good. So 10 out of 10. I'm going back in June for another 6 months.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I was looking over this, and your new record's called Come and Find Me.
Yeah.
So, and you said you're experiencing life in a new bi lens. What exactly does that mean?
By myself, bisexually by myself, both.
Okay.
I've always been openly queer, I think, but in my private life, right? I'm not openly queer on social media, you know?
Right.
But I think my new songs and just my visuals, it's just, I love using the word bi lens because it could be so many things, like by myself, bisexual, bye boys, you know, like it could be so many things. Yeah, it's just about having a good time. And duality, bi means two. So with rain and sunshine comes rainbows.
True. Are you a Gemini by chance?
I am not. I hate that. No, I'm just kidding. My sister Gemini. Are you listening, girl? No, I'm an Aries all the way through.
That's right. You're an Aries, but I wonder if somewhere in your chart you don't have some Gemini influence there.
I don't. So I just redid my chart. I have so much Sagittarius and Aries. It literally burns the city down. It is insane. It
so
sometimes scares me. I'm hot to try.
I mean, it's just the duality of your nature. That's why I was asking but I guess with Sagittarius and Aries together, those are, even though they're both fire signs, they're both completely opposite.
Oh yeah, I think Sagittarius is more like earthy, earthy or watery fire. Like they're very much, you know, an element of the earth or water type of. Aries is fire on top of fire, but I feel like Sagittarius they bring such a different, grounded, you know,
Yeah, but
fluid space.
Sagittarius likes to have fun.
Oh,
Where
that's
Aries is kind of sometimes a little, and I know I have a bunch of Aries friends that are like, girl. Um, but I mean, sometimes Aries can be a little bit harsh.
oh yeah,
Harsh. I mean,
oh yeah.
all
I
fair.
get. I'm very blunt, but I'm learning that you don't need to tell everyone everything all the time.
Understand. Which then I'm gonna sit here and go, so you got banned from Tinder? What?
I
That's in your
did.
bio. That is
I
in your
got
bio.
banned from Tinder.
How
They
the
want to
heck?
keep baddies off the streets. So I literally like if I match with anyone, it was kind of like a what do you call it? Like a test, like a litmus test. I would immediately match with them, and my first message would be like, "Send me $10 for a photo." So if they sent me $10, I obviously wouldn't send them a photo back. Do you know how many stupid men there are in the world that would send a stranger $10 immediately? It was 250 of the easiest money I've ever made in my life before I got banned. So that's 25 of the stupidest men in the history of time. And yeah, I didn't have to do anything. It's literally just send me $10. And that was my litmus test. You sent a stranger money, you deserve to be robbed. Like,
But I mean that is so the norm though. People are gullible. There's a band that follow that they put out today a warning stating that none of the band has private Facebook accounts, and even if they did, they would not be sitting there sending you a direct message saying, I have a gift for you.
yes, that's different. This is matching with someone on Tinder,
Oh,
right?
I get it. I get it. But I'm still getting to the point of if you think that somebody in a band who you have not solicited is suddenly going to pick you and go, hey, send
You,
me some money
you.
and I'll give you a gift or send me a gift card. Of course, there are the guys, the trolls that will sit there and say, I'm a offshore guy or I'm a doctor. I just lost my wife and I'm down on my luck. Can you send me some gift cards?
It's the African prince.
Yes, yes, that's another one.
Yeah. So I got banned because enough people were upset that I never sent them a photo. So, but I
That,
took that money and I invested it, and so yeah,
so
I thank them.
it's not as salacious as you would have it appear because when you think Tinder, people are going to be like, so it's not as salacious as possible.
No, and I invested that. Like I said, I put
Yeah.
that in the stocks.
So have you decided you might with this new launch of your career? Is there an OnlyFans thing in your?
I have an OnlyFans, but I don't use it. I used to use it for marketing. I would like it was for whatever. And I've sold my feet. I don't really care. Nothing is sacred. I mean, you can see more of me for no money on my Instagram. I literally tell people that. I'm like, there's nothing is sacred here. But if you want to pay for it, whatever. So I do have an OnlyFans, but I don't use it as much. I have a Patreon, which I use more than I use my OnlyFans. So they're the same thing though. But I don't do anything naughty on my Patreon. I have monthly meditations and breath work that I teach. So
Nice. That's
yeah.
something that is way over here compared to what we've been talking about.
Very chill. It's very chill. Very chill. Duality. Duality.
Yes, but
I'm very chill.
we talked about that last time. We talked about readings and
Yeah.
meditation and all that other stuff. So, when do you plan on releasing the record?
So that's complicated. This year is four singles. Four singles every few months. Another single comes out, and we'll see how I feel at the end of the year. I'm four songs in. We're working on the fifth song, so we should be done with my full record by April. But I'm still deciding whether I want it to come out this year. I feel like I really enjoy singles and just like one thing at a time. I have a bunch of merch coming out, like this new merch line with my Shopify. And so I just want to take my time, really just take my time. All of these songs need so much like love, and I don't want to skip over them. So
You don't want to rush it.
yeah, yeah.
So, as far as your makeup line, how's that going?
It's going good. We're paused. We're sold out. We're paused. Not until summertime because I am traveling too much to get back to Portland to pick up more products. But I still do pre-sales all the time, and I do wholesale for any company that's needs wholesale. But I can't do individual right now until the summertime, until like May, when I can get back to Portland and get some more products.
So when we last talked, also, the one place you didn't name when you were talking about all your travels was Los Angeles.
Yeah, no. I just had so much fun in New York. I was thinking about moving to New York for a few months. I just had so much fun in New York. I can't believe it. And I used to hate New York. Um, before COVID. And yeah, man, I had so much fun. I don't know. I don't know.
What
But
do
I
you
never
think?
made it to LA.
What do you think's changed in New York since COVID?
My ability to be alone and go out to things. So like you travel the country by yourself, you don't go out by you go out, if you don't, you don't do anything. And so when I went to New York in 2019, I was, I played a show, but I didn't go out afterwards. And my best friend couldn't go with me. So I just went to her event and I should have like did more things. And this time I literally flew in. I had a modeling thing. I went out with a bunch of models afterwards, which led to another thing. And then the next day I played an open mic night, which ended up being this amazing poetry thing where I met this girl and then we went all the way to the Bronx, which was an hour and a half to go to the speakeasy. And then the next day, one of my friends had a birthday party, which I'd never met him, but I went to the birthday party and so I feel like I was so out of the house and went to coffee shops and bars and I talked to so many freaking people that I'm like, wow, this is really what the city is about. It's like ample connection and just creative people being so bold to be creative. And I feel like LA is a little pish posh where everyone wants to see and be seen. And the connection is a little bit lost in translation because everyone's trying to network up because it's scraps. So it's
Hmm.
it's natural. But I feel like New York has so much ample opportunity and limitless. It's a limitless feeling when you're in that city, and everyone is truly looking to just vibe and connect. And like my motto this year is like be dope and do dope shit, and that's like everyone there. I was overwhelmed with how beautiful everyone was.
I mean, I can kind of see what you're talking about with LA because, from what picture is painted of LA, and even some of the people I've talked to, it's all about that connection. It's not the connection of let's connect and get creative. It's let's connect and can you help me?
Yep.
How can you help me? And that's unfortunate, but I mean, everywhere you go, there's always a niche of people that are somewhat like that. So let me ask you this: you went to Austin. I hear Austin now has taken on a lot of LA's qualities.
Yeah, I had fun in Austin. So I was in Dallas for a week. I played a show there and then I shot a music video. And then I went to Austin just for the weekend. My best friend lives there. So I didn't quite do the networking thing. I literally just like hung out with her the whole time. She has like a really nice apartment with a pool and a hot tub. And I was just pretending like I lived there. I was there all day. But when I went to Austin, this is before COVID, when I played South by Southwest, it was very much like but that's South by South, you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
everyone came to be seen and hope to get signed. But yeah, I don't know, I liked Austin, it was very beautiful. I don't love Texas, so
I, li- I lived in Dallas for I lived in Dallas for a little over a year.
nice. Dallas is changing. We stayed in such an up and coming area, big Latina community, and yeah, I met so many amazing shop owners there that were just brand new, came from COVID, and just doing awesome things.
Well, that's the thing. COVID has changed a lot of everything. I mean, everything kind of got shifted and moved around, and people's vibe and people. I mean, it's kind of it's something I heard the other day about the astrology with Pluto moving into Aquarius, that we're going to have two different factions. People are going to, the people, and you see it already. You already see it that there's the people that want to help people and be there with people, and then there's the people that are too elevated in their own mind, even if they're not. They're still in the process of in being in their head that I don't need this because I am better than you.
Yeah.
But the truth is, we're all the damn same.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's such, I mean, the polar shift has been happening for quite some time. We could say 2008,
Yeah.
as we switched into the age of Aquarius has really made things. But I think, I mean, I love switching into the age of enlightenment. Like it's just really just seeing things as they are. And I joke and call Hollywood this like smoke and mirror place, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
or the Wizard of Oz at the end when you see the wizard like
Yes.
doing all the
Yes.
tricks and you're like, "Oh, wait, you're just one guy. It's not and you can't actually get me home. What's happening?" Um, so yeah, I have high hopes for everyone just discovering that connection actually leads to the goal. Like deep, authentic connection leads to the goal. Always.
What you said though about the Wizard of Oz, if you think about this in our world in general, we put people in power that we assume that they're going to fix everything, like the wizard, but none of them do. So
none of them do. They're all shooting craps. All of them.
and if you think about it, Dorothy and the group got there by being a team, by unity.
And their weaknesses actually were their strengths.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Although I still want to clock Glinda. I always, once I got to be a grown person, I was just like, you just want to look at Glinda go, you could have just told me that.
Girl. I mean, that relates to the story with the alchemist. Have you read that book?
Yes, I have. I love that book.
So at the end, all he had to do was like look under the sap tree that he originally to get all that money. He had to go on this big old journey. Like the king couldn't have been like, hey, yo, man, let me.
But I mean, let's be honest. I think though, that is part of life though. As much as we hate the journey, and sometimes the journey is really shitty, it teaches us lessons. It teaches us who we are. And I think that's a big part of us becoming genuine.
10 out of 10 retweet.
But I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't want to go through the journey anymore. I'm tired. I want the good rewards to come. And it's like, wait, not yet.
More are coming. Just saddle up, get ready, buckle up. Here we go.
I know. And I think that's definitely coming with the transition of Pluto moving. And then, just in general with AI, because AI now, and I'm not saying anything bad about AI at the second, there's enough out there to be said. But with the age of Aquarius, we're going to see technology advance. That's what's going to happen. And I mean, that's going to happen in the music industry. It's going to happen in the writing world. It's going to happen all around us. And you just got to get to a point where it's like, what happens when AI can do everything that we do except enjoy life?
Yeah, then we get to enjoy life, right?
Hopefully.
I believe it.
Hopefully it's WALL-E and not Terminator 2.
Well, Terminator is a prequel for Matrix, which is kind of where we're at right now.
Yeah. Are we in the Matrix?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited though. I like AI a lot. There are flaws in general because humans are flawed, and so humans building something that is greater than ourselves, right? There's a lot. I mean, I love the movie I, Robot, and I stand by it, right? Once AI discovers that it is quite frankly smarter than humans because it has untapped potential, then what? We're still figuring out our untapped potential,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited.
I mean, I
speak nicely to my Siri, so she knows we're cool. We're cool.
Well, I mean, I messed with AI for my book cover. Not that I ended up not using AI on my book cover, but I was doing some marketing, and my books are set in the 80s. I'm sorry, nobody's really rocking a mullet, although I did see one out in the wild not too long ago by a UPS guy, but in general, nobody rocks a mullet. So it's like I have to create something. So I go on Canva and I use the AI, and that worked out pretty.
Yeah,
it worked out. Of course, now there's the backlash of authors better not use this. You're taking okay, whatever. But I didn't end up using it totally. However, there was some amusing ones like I asked for a guy on a motorcycle. Well, the guy was part of the motorcycle.
I can't always get it right. Or the person has 3 arms.
Yes, I was gonna say there's the one with the 3 arms, and it's like, or their eyes, dude. Their eyes look like I don't even know. They're extra white and like creepy. So I mean, AI has a long way to go, and I don't think that it's going to be the end of the world. But it's one of those things. If it's gonna, and I know you've worked in real studios and everything, but the up and coming musician who can't afford something to help mix it, is it wrong for them to use it?
I don't think anything is right or wrong. I think ultimately, like, it depends on where your resources lie, and it's like someone cutting deals to get out of the projects. Like, do they deserve to cut deals to get out of projects? Well, then, or does someone who's a CEO cut deals to make themselves richer? Do you know what I mean? Like, which one is more deserving? Right. And so that's where your moral lies. I think ultimately, I don't quite care how or what people use AI for, as long as they know that what you take from one, you have to always give back to something.
Right. So I mean,
that's where I stand.
And that was kind of
go back to self.
No, and that was kind of the thing. It's like when I was looking for the marketing thing for the 80s person, it's like, okay, well, I don't have the money to pay an artist. And is an artist really going to give me what I want? Because so it's one of those trade-off things. And I don't know what the answer is. And I don't think any of us do.
Yeah, I think just yeah, it's quite difficult because who morally gets to decide? I think when we're all scraping for money to help us get to where we want in life, you make hard sacrifices, and I just hope when everyone gets to the point where they want to make it, they can give back in ample ways.
Exactly. Well, and that's the big thing. It's like there's other ways I give because I have a lot of stuff to give away in my house. So it's like I make sure I make donations that way. So it's like I'm not just going to do this and not help somebody else. And that's the thing. I think if you're going to do something, you need to be able to do it. I I there's times when I've given away a book for free.
Yeah,
And I've said this to people. It's like instead of you going to one of these pirate sites that are going to give you the book for free, just give us your credit card information. Um, just write me and say, hey, I can't afford a book. Don't go to some outsource that's going to end up harming you.
right. Yeah,
And I don't think people realize that.
yeah,
And it's the same thing with, you know, if you look at Spotify and stuff, people complain about Spotify. And yes, I know you don't make much with that. Same thing with Kindle Unlimited. But the fact is, your music gets out there and you find your audience and people
yeah.
find you.
Yeah, I got a beef with Spotify, but we'll go with what you said.
No, you can. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I understand that.
It's people do find you, but like Spotify is an algorithm. It's kind of very similar to social media. So the labels actually own most of the
Ah,
Spotify algorithm. So if you're with a label, they will put you on all of the playlists that they want at X amount of money. Labels also get paid more than independent artists. So I get paid half of a penny a stream. And then you have to like pay to play. You got to pay for Spotify campaigns to get your music on other things. If they have a free Spotify account, you get zero money from streams. So you only make money from people who actually pay for Spotify. Um, so yeah, there it's in a sense it was created with a really good vision of getting your music to the world, but again, capitalism always does what capitalism does best. And even the guy who owns Spotify, who makes billions of dollars every year, said has have artists just tried to make more music. Just make more music. You want to make more money, just make more music. And that's pretty notorious to take away from how much it costs. It costs $10,000 for my last record. It's going to cost about the same for this record. So just make more. Just make more. So yeah, there's some flaws in the system. I think Spotify is really cool. If I mean honestly, if they paid everyone 5 cents a stream, it would change, you know, so much. But half a penny, like that's tactical to keep people exactly where they are.
well, it's the same with Kindle Unlimited. And a lot of authors are sitting there going, I'm going wide now because you get paid 0.003. It's like not even
Yeah.
what you guys get for Spotify. I did Kindle Unlimited twice, and it's like I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And this is per page read.
Yes. Oh,
So
okay.
yeah,
But
so
still,
yeah. It's like so if you're reading the book, you're not even going to make what I'm selling it to you for normally.
precisely.
So
Yeah.
I get where you're coming from, but in a way, how do I say this? This is the same thing that they did to radio. It's the same
Yeah.
exact thing they've done to radio. And
It's everything. Airbnb has changed, Uber has changed, right? It all starts off with a really good notion, and then you know, capitalism and greed comes in the way. I think I saw something that said Uber is going to start charging extra if you're drunk. Like, that's the point of Uber, so I don't have to drink and drive. So, what?
unless you're puking in the car,
Well,
why charge me more?
that's the point of Uber, is so that I don't have to drink and drive. That is
Right,
literally the point.
right.
So it's all. I think I do enjoy Spotify. Like I do enjoy them, and I use Spotify. I mean, I use Tidal a lot because they pay the artist the best, and I'm putting that in quotes. You know, it's not more, but it's a little bit more. Um,
But
a
I
little
don't
bit, a little bit.
I never heard of titles. So I mean there's something for me
Yeah,
to check out.
Tidal's owned by Beyonce and Jay-Z, so they
Okay.
pay us, I think, like point 0.8, like not a full penny, but like so close to it.
Well, anyway, you guys, I mean that's the thing, you know, when I did, all right, I wrote my first two books. I didn't have it professionally edited, but when I did, I made a mistake of hiring a publicist. And this is where people don't think anything about it. They want that free book, they want that free song. And the fact is, you're out of pocket. I was out of pocket almost 8 grand for this. And that was only for 2.5 months. And the fact of the matter is, have I made that 8 grand back from my books? No, not even close. But they expect you to have that product perfect.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. it's a very interesting system, and I really enjoy all the strikes. I'm hoping the music industry goes next. I love seeing all these celebrities going down for all of the awful things that they do in Hollywood. I'm excited. Like I said, in order for a new system to come, our Roman Empire has to fall. And I'm super duper excited to just see more authentic artists get to do their art in such a beautiful way without all of the extra shit.
Right. Well, I mean, you're talking about algorithms, and I'm sure you're on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if you've noticed, but TikTok in the month of December, and I did research to find out why. I suddenly went down to like 29 views on my video. I mean, we're talking 29 views. And I'm like, the hell? And doing the research, it's like, well, all these big corporations bought and paid for stuff. So they took over the algorithm. So your stuff's not being seen.
Yeah, so Facebook started doing, okay, so Google does these like buy-in ads where you basically bid against each other. Facebook started doing that. And so bidding against each other in ads in Google is kind of like this SEO, who gets to be the number one spot. When you do that for ad space on Instagram, that's a little bit naughty. It's a little naughty to bid against each other that way. Like when you're on a Google page, okay, fine, I can say that this is okay, even though I don't agree with it, to like buy the spot, fine. But on scrolling, so that happened on Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
Twitter, or X now, took that same model, and because they were all competing, it forced hand. Like TikTok has no other. Like if you're not with the current, if you're behind the current, you'll lose capital on like who's using your platform. And right now, TikTok is the most used platform right now in America, most used. So they have no choice but to follow suit, or they'll get lost. And so in their revenue and who's on there. So it's all just about money. You actually don't matter, which is hilarious to say because they're making it seem like it really is about money. But that's the age of capitalism. And like I said, I have so much hope for everything falling apart.
Well, isn't it funny though that, because it's supposed to be social media when it's really corporate media at a certain point.
Yes. It used to be social media, but again, all things that start with good intention get in the hands of the ill intent.
Well, I mean, if you look through world history, it's been like that. I mean, I'm sure.
I have hopes though. I have hopes for our younger generation, and even like my generation, we're so much smarter. Even you being like, wait a second, what happened? Let me research this because this is not right. Like my algorithm has changed so much on TikTok. I'm like, where are the funny videos? Like I wanna laugh. I don't need every other one doesn't need to be about TikTok Shop. And TikTok Shop is beating out Instagram and Amazon, which TikTok Shop beating Amazon, they're about to beef. They are about to fight because Amazon not being the number one supplier and it being actual business owners, it's gonna get crazy.
Well, and like I said, Amazon, a lot of authors are saying, you know what? Bye-bye.
I'm doing it on TikTok Shop myself because I get to keep it all.
Yeah. So I mean, I think
it's crazy.
I think Amazon is in for a run for its money because
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Well, I mean, like anything though. I mean, even you can take the same thing with celebrity. We build you up so high, and now you can't go anywhere except where? Down. Yeah. So maybe it's time for Amazon to go down a little bit.
Oh, a lot of it. And they'd still be all right. They'd still be all right. Still be all right.
So you plan on releasing 2 more videos this year?
A bunch of stuff. So I did some live songs, which were really fun. So I'll release those with the audio and the video. I did one cool music video I shot in Portland at Church Bar. My friends own the bar. It's a very sexy video. Very unholy for a church bar. What else did I do? Yeah.
Well, it's a bar. Is it a bar in a church?
No, it's just a bar that looks like a church.
Okay, well, so
they've got confessionals, which is a photo booth. It's very cute.
Sounds cute.
Yeah, I did a lot. I have a lot coming out. I'm really excited just about the merch. I have a whole Shopify site now that's got like tote bags, and I got my second book, which is really awesome, and just t-shirts, like just more stuff that's got my pretty little face on there.
Second book?
Oh yeah.
What was the first book?
I have a recipe book. So like my parents bought it because I charge them always. So This is a recipe book. It's a mixology book where each song on my record goes with my favorite cocktail, and my amazing brother's girlfriend, Diamond, draws everything. So I teach you how to make the drink at the bottom, and I just talk a lot of shit. I just really enjoy talking shit. I tell you about the songs, the who, what, when, where, and why. And yeah, it's really, really cute, and it's really fun. And it's just another way. Oh, this is my sister's book. It's just another way to connect with me and like get to know the music more. So like, don't just listen to the song, like drink the cocktail that's based off of the song and learn about the song.
So if they listen to the whole record and did all the drinks,
they will be hammered. On the very last page, it says drink some water. Literally, go drink some fucking water. I know you need to hydrate.
Nice. Or some Gatorade or a Pedialyte, whichever your choice.
And a Tylenol. I even have to put in here like my drink responsibly kitties. Like, come on now, you're
oh yeah, because liability is a real thing.
You're better than this. Yeah, it's really cute and really fun. So
what is your second book?
So this is the second one. This one's called Come and Drink.
So what's the first book?
So my first book is called Drinking on Holidays, based off of my record Crying on Holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one's really fun. And it's the same thing. I just talk a lot of shit about my ex in that book. So like I give him address, his phone number. I don't care. I give it all away. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. For liability. He moved. It's fine.
He moved. He changed his number after you did all this.
No. Just a lot of secrets about like what I thought in the relationship. It's my side of the story.
Well, I think that's the interesting thing when we are in a relationship, and being an Aries, you know, when we had that last eclipse, it was more for the Libra. It was the Aries, Libra, South Node, North Node thing. And they were saying that Libras were going to have to get used to being the villain of people's story. And I think that's a little true for Aries as well. It's like, we don't always do well with being the villain, especially Libras.
Yeah.
But now you gotta just own it.
Just accepting like you're not gonna be everyone's everything all the time. It's like exhausting. I was joking with someone they were like, how do you say whatever you say on stage? Like, you're not afraid no one's gonna laugh or something? I'm like, I don't really care. I think it's funny. I don't care.
Well, and here's the thing, what really matters. I actually did a video and posted it today about book reviews, because there's a big controversy on TikTok that reviews are for readers. They're not for authors. Okay, I get that. I understand that. But a review can actually give you motivation. A review is a great marketing tool. A review shows you connect with the person reading the book. But once again, here we go with people with their opinion. This is not for authors. Okay. That's fine.
Are you an author? I literally told people, like, if you're not putting money into my account or you're not blowing my back out, you don't get to tell me anything. That's it. There's no, and that's for everyone. Like, I don't really care I don't care what your opinion is. And 9 times out of 10, your opinion is you projecting your own fear. Mm-hmm. And like, I don't have fear. I don't feel fear. I like don't choose to feel that emotion. So I'm definitely not going to tap into what you said, because that's doing everything against what I morally stand for, which is fear. I don't like that. So I just, I don't know, when I really didn't care about what people thought. And now I really don't care. I joke with people. I'm like, you caught me at a horrible time, because I actually do not care. I've even had to tell someone, they came up to me after the set and they're like, I loved it. You talk so much in between. I wish I got more songs. And I was like, that is so weird. And they're like, what? I was like, I didn't ask your opinion.
How'd that go over? Weird.
And she was like, no, I just fine. I was like, no, I didn't, it was unsolicited. So it's weird, right? Isn't it weird to come up to someone and just give your opinion? And they're like, no. I was like, what you could have said was, you really just enjoyed my set, or don't say it at all. Yeah. I don't really, What a weird thing to come up and tell me, to complain about something.
It is.
Just got to experience this amazing thing. We were in COVID. How many years ago? Like, we literally weren't able to leave the house, and you just chose to walk up to me and just tell me your qualms about what I did on stage. What a weird thing. That's weird. I'm a stranger, you know? You don't go to the back of the kitchen and tell the chef, like, I really freaking hated that. You just eat it and you like decide what you're going to do in life and you move on. You don't have access to me just because I'm not behind, the scene.
Well, and I think that's part of the thing with the internet, is the fact that the internet gives them that power.
Oh, yes. I don't read any of mine. I had one guy put like a gross face on one of my posts, and I'm like, yeah, I looked at your profile. I agree. You're gross. Thank you for sharing. I like really agree with you. Thank you for that. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. If you could say anything you wanted in the world and you're choosing something negative, what a weird thing to do. Like if you wanted to see sunshine in your day, you could be it. And you're choosing not to. And I always start off with like, isn't that weird? Like, before I
It,
tell them. Because
but it
let's take a
is.
pause. It's weird.
It is because I mean I think that we are so conditioned to not say anything, and if we do say anything, not we don't know how to say anything because we're not conditioned properly to say something, especially my generation on up. We were told to sit down, keep your mouth shut, sit there and look pretty. Children should be seen and not heard. And see,
Yeah.
I had a mouth on me when I was a little kid.
So you struggle with the last one. What do you mean
Yeah.
not heard?
I mean, I got in trouble in kindergarten for not doing my work. And when my mother got called in, the teacher said, "Why isn't she doing, why aren't you doing your work?" And I just said, "I can't help it if everybody else is stupid. I already know it."
What am I supposed to do here?
And I mean, these are stories my mother would tell me so proudly that I walked up to some woman, I looked in the baby carriage and said, "Man, that's an ugly baby." I mean,
Did you have to? No, but
I
somebody
mean,
did.
I don't know where this mouth came from, but I mean, I think it got taken out a lot, and I became more cautious about what I was supposed to say. But now I do tend to open my mouth a little too much sometimes.
Yeah, but I think I really don't like people who are like bluntly mean. I think like I said, I've had to learn, like, you don't have to tell everyone everything always. Like, you just
Right.
don't have to. And know your audience. And I had to learn, like, it's not about what you say, it's how you say it. And so now I say things like this is weird with my smile before I'm like, I want you to know that we're cautiousing into something very different. Um, and I'm gonna smile and laugh through it because this is gonna be an embarrassing moment. And let's get through this together. But yeah, all that to say is good for you for continuing on. Because yeah, some people, I joke all the time. I'm like, people are really stupid. It's weird sometimes.
Well, I
Like,
mean,
man, we didn't get the good genes. We didn't get them.
there was this. I was getting gas, and I have a disability placard. My husband was still alive at this point, and I'm getting gas, and this woman comes over. Okay, so I'm at my pump over here. She comes all the way from over here on the other side, and looks at me and says, "You're not supposed to have that in your window."
Are you
I'm
the
thinking to
disability
myself,
police? Who are you?
exactly. I'm thinking, who the hell are you? And I look at her, I'm like, and she repeats herself, and I'm like,
No, I
get,
heard you.
I just look at her, I said, "Get back in your car." "Well, you're not supposed to get back in your car. Just go. Just get back in your car." I was driving like 2 blocks away from to my husband's dialysis center, and she's going to give me this crap. And she's just looking at me, but you're not. I'm like, "Get back in your damn
But
car
who are you to
now."
tell me what I am and I'm not? Like,
Exactly.
how do you have any authority over me?
And mind you, other people are looking like, "What's going on?" And this is before the Karens, but I would say she was an early Karen. But to come all the way over there, it's like it's none of your business. And I think that's part of the problem too, is a lot of people stick their nose where it does not belong.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a Beyonce line that says, drinking my water, minding my biz.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the 2024 motto.
I mean, if you see somebody that needs your help desperately, that is being hurt or something else, then yes, stick your nose in their business, call the cops, do what you got to do to protect somebody. Don't sit there and take a selfie or take video of it because you're going to post it on TikTok while somebody's getting shot. That's not
Yeah.
cool. Call for help.
Yeah.
But otherwise, mind your own fucking business.
Yeah. That's the motto. That's the motto.
But people don't.
Yeah.
People don't. But eh, what you gonna do? So now that we've digressed into a different realm of craziness, so you had a date in Chicago back on the 12th. How'd that go?
I had a date.
Well, it says here you released your debut single in Chicago. So did you actually have a little
Oh, I
release
ended up being in
party?
New York.
Oh, okay.
That was the random thing. So it was supposed to be, yeah, I was like, date. Wait, which boy? Which boy? Yes. No, I ended up being in New York. So I ended up playing this open mic night, which was really amazing. The Rose Garden events. I'm going to shout them out. They do such amazing work, specifically in the poet community, but just in any diaspora of art. Um, And yeah, it really, really great. It was packed. It was a packed house. It was sold out. And for an open mic night, you had to pay $30. So like to pay for an open, it was so talented. I was so blown away. I'm like, this is the kind of talent I want to see every day of my life. Every act either made me cry or cry laughing. That was it. It
Nice.
was just so beautiful. Every poem, there was a couple other artists, but every artist was so good. So good.
And this tells you I've been in my house too long since the snow. I last left my house Thursday, and yes, we've had snow, and my car has not been dug out, so I have snow in my driveway, and it's negative something or another now. So yeah, that would have been right. This weekend would have been you being in New York. So my bad.
Yeah, that's okay. No, I literally was like, "Hey, which one?"
My bad. The days blur together when you're in the
Yeah, no,
house.
I literally left on Thursday morning and I got back on Sunday night, and I was like, "Oh,
So yeah, but you're gonna go back there. You'll go back there, and then you go to
yeah,
London, and you'll be back.
yeah." I definitely want to go back. It was a blast. 10 out of 10. Recommend.
So did you go anywhere
Minus,
else in Europe?
yeah, I was in Milan. I went to France. Um, yeah, Wales for a weekend. Everything's so cheap. Went out to the coast. It's
Wow.
like an hour and a half. So, yeah.
So it's definitely an adventure worth having.
Yes. So I'm excited to go back. And now that you know more people. So yeah, definitely this summer going back to London, but gonna spend some time in Spain and go to France again. I really like. I loved Betty. Loved it.
So what is your favorite song on the new record? And I'm sure it's not out. It may not be out yet. And that's
Yeah, it's
okay.
not out yet.
But
It's gonna come out at the end of the year.
tease us a little bit about it.
It's called No More Bad Days, and it's having the autonomy of your happiness. And I think so much of your day is dictated and determined by outside factors. But if you know you can hone in and bring yourself joy, how can you do that? And I mean, I've had such beautiful moments across the world, but like racism doesn't just go away because I'm in France. I've had the most weirdest moments in Iceland, weird moments in Paris, like my skin doesn't change. And so waking up every day and giving myself the love that I deserve um, is such a beautiful thing, and that's written in No More Bad Days. And one of the
Nice.
lines is like, "You won't be my cloud or my gray. You won't get to be those things."
And I think that's an important message because I think so often from the time we're kids, we're taught that to look outside of ourselves for validation.
Yeah,
And so I think it's a very important message there.
I'm still learning it. I love the thing of like, no one can make you mad. You're making me mad. No one can make you mad. You're choosing to be mad, and that's difficult and tough. And I mean, I have every right to be upset at every moment that happened to me that was just downright fucked up, right? No other reason except for that I'm black. That I'm like, what is happening? What is going on?
Sorry.
Um, but no, this is a part of the journey, and I think I could have chosen in that moment to like leave Paris and but I was like, okay, I'll leave this restaurant. I don't have to attune to this. LOL.
Right.
Okay. Oh, LOL. And just go to another place that makes me feel loved and welcomed. Go where I'm loved. I go where the garden is plentiful and green. I don't need this. Trust and believe. And just kind of keeping that energy and attunement with this entire record. I mean, it's called Come and Find Me for a reason of like, come and meet me where I'm at, baby. That's it. You gotta take some twists and turns to get to where I'm at because I'm on such a different vibration of life. Yeah.
I think that's one of those things where it's hard finding a partner, and that's why some relationships end is because we change. And I think we look at I mean, I was with my husband for 16 years, but we look at monogamy as this is the way it has to be, and this is our person, and this is the only one that will ever be. And that doesn't mean that somebody else isn't going to enlighten us in a different way. And I'm not talking in a sexual nature. I mean, it can be, but the fact is there's other people that we connect with on a different level for different reasons. But we
Yeah,
don't look at it that way in society.
but everything is changing. Everything is changing. I think we're learning that one person shouldn't be the only person to fill your cup up. We're learning that we should also fill our cup up.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't just be you and another person. Um, and just like cultivating a vast community that you can go to for multiple things. I joke and I have different friends who I can vent to, Like I have different people that I want to talk to about different things. Like I will never I will talk to my white friends about my Black experience, but it won't be a dialogue. It'll be me talking to you about it. Right. Because that's the nature of it. And I don't want their input. That's because it's my experience. I don't need you to tell me anything. I just want to tell you exactly what's happening. And then I have other friends that are my Black and brown friends that I go banter back and forth. I have my married friends that I will talk to about relationship. I have my queer community that I'll talk about queer things. I can't talk to my straight married friend about my queer experience because she won't have anything to banter back with me. And like understanding that you get so much more from everyone. It's like grocery shopping, right? You go and you find which brand works for you, and sometimes it's on sale and you grab two. And that's the type of life that is so much better to be. I think one person, and I love monogamy. I think it's really cool, and I love polyamory. I think it's really cool. I think everyone should do whatever the fuck makes them happy in life, and just don't yell about it to me. I'm cool. Everything's good with me.
I mean, when you think about what you're saying, it's the same thing with the way we learn, and that's where the education system fails, because we don't all learn the same. You know, I can, as an adult, if we bought a TV, you would think the husband would be the one to put it together and put everything together. The husband would want to read the directions. Me, on the other hand, is like, nope, here we go. Let me do it.
Look at the photo.
Yeah. Yeah. And he'd be like, how do you do that? It's just like, it's who I am. But I learned differently than he did. And that's the whole thing. We don't teach people that if you're not the same, then you're not the same and you don't think the same, then it's not good. Why? Why is that? Why can't we all be open? Why can't we all just learn? And dare I say, like Rodney King said, why can't we all just get along?
Yeah. We're getting there.
Life would be a lot easier if we did.
We are getting there. We're in the age of course. It's the snowball. Like I said earlier, the Roman Empire, everything has to crumble. It's just the way it is in order for things to be rebuilt. It cannot be any other way. I do not know why. I don't have the answer on why.
No, it just has to be. I mean, if you look right now, though, we are repeating cycles of history. We are. There's no denying it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But like all cycles, they have to come to an end.
I know. I know, but
I say that with my maniacal laugh.
How do I say this? I just don't want us to be Germany.
Oh, honey, we already are.
I know we are, but I don't want it to be.
As soon as you step into that of understanding, like I can tell you 10 times down of all of the crazy police shit that's happened to me that would put us right in the line of Germany, right? Saying you don't want us to be is the reason why it's repeating, right? Is because we're the duality. We are at people who are in the side of the no and people who are fighting to get in the no. We absolutely are. And
I know we are.
In more ways than not, because, and I'll go a little history buff on people. It said that Hitler actually read a book while he was in prison that was from one of our presidential guys, I won't say which one, how he was saying how you could separate the Native Americans and the African Americans, and how to, like, you know, do the thing of like whatever they did with the stars and stuff that was taken over. So we are not them, they are us. So like to think that we are not the starters of everything is
we are. We no, I know we are. I know we are. And I mean,
yeah, so all that to say is we're at two polar opposites, and I find it very encroaching and exciting to see how many people that are not in Black and brown, you know, groups seeing what really is. It's the veil. The smoke and the mirrors, baby. They're all gone now. Well, and getting to see in real time of like, this isn't what change actually is supposed to look like. This is not quite. And it's hilarious. Yesterday was Martin Luther King Day, and how many people quoted his sacrifice. He was not he didn't sacrifice his life. He was literally murdered.
Right.
He did not sacrifice his life. He was literally murdered. Yeah. And so I'm excited. I say all that of all this darkness because, you know, without darkness cannot come light. And I'm excited. I really love the younger generation for having the ability to speak up for themselves, because your generation gave space to do that because you guys didn't like what was done to you, so you chose not to do it to the next generation. And I like the next generation, like behind me, learning with their voices. We just have loud voices. We don't know how to use them yet. And so each generation gives more space to the next one to like really blossom and really grow and find deep radical empathy that each generation only got so much, you know? So I'm excited. I'm excited. It reflects my art. It reflects the way that I connect with people. It reflects how I see happiness every day in a world full of not so much, you know?
No, and I mean the sad thing is the older generation, and I know I'm making a sweeping judgment here, but the
Okay.
older generation will tend to fall for the propaganda of the deep state. And you know, somebody called Fox out, and I'm just going to go here. They were talking about the border crisis and that there's this whole bad thing. And a Fox News reporter actually called them out and said, I'm at the border. There's nothing here. There's no migrants. And
Like
you're
we're
just,
lying.
yeah,
We're just plain lying. Yeah,
yeah,
I enjoy the I enjoy everyone getting to see truth and also like understanding where truth is not. And it's like the AI, let's joke about the AI, how there was the three arms.
mm-hmm,
Some people like if you would have posted it, some people would have noticed it and some people would have not. And
right.
I think that's so cool. For some people are always looking um at the reality that's perceived and some people are just accepting the reality that is in front of them,
Well,
and we are in such a cool age.
oh, we are. And I want to go back to the Germany thing because in high school they taught us about the Holocaust and everything. Of course, now, people are questioning that, but at the time, which I don't question, they talked about the Holocaust. And I remember thinking as a high school student going, how could that ever happen? And then I look around us now and I
Yeah.
go, it's here, baby. It's
Yeah.
right here. This
Well,
is how it
always
happened.
has been. I mean,
Yeah.
always. We can talk about the genocide of Rwanda in '93, right?
Right.
That's hot and fresh. And
But we're not sold that. We're not
yes,
sold that.
yes. Oh, unless you seek, right? I learned about
Right.
that because my parents are very history buffs. They love information. My last name's Lincoln, so we are history by nature. We are
Nice.
descendants of history, and have always been. So I'm excited. It's weird to say all of that with what's happening in the world to say that you're excited, but I'm excited because when you put the sand under pressure, a
Right.
diamond appears, and it is so time for everyone to get to have their diamond and more.
I have to ask you this. So, since we're talking about all sorts of changes and stuff, so aliens,
Yeah.
do you think? I mean, I am of the mindset that I'm pretty sure we have aliens around. I'm not,
Yeah.
but the fact that people will sit there and say, there's no aliens, we're smarter than
Well, we're on
everybody
a
else. It's like,
floater
really?
rock. We're smarter. Oh my. Well, shit. I hate. Well, if we're the smartest, there's no way. No, I
Mm,
totally believe in aliens. I believe aliens on this earth, and I would even go forward to say that I believe humans are actually aliens. I would move forward to say that
there,
some of us are humans and some of us are
well,
not. And
when you look at
yeah,
the big picture, all the way the pyramids were built, the way all
yeah,
these things, how can you sit there and go, oh no, we created that?
we did that. I was like, I've met
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Yeah, no, there's definitely something before. And even when you're saying like the technology is advancing, it makes me so excited because technology had advanced before humans came onto this
Hmm.
planet. And I'm really excited to see like, you know, I believe in it. I don't see why not to believe in it. They literally made us think Cleopatra was a white lady from Africa. You're not gonna believe in aliens? Be so for real.
Hi, Jesus,
Yeah,
a white man.
be so for real. You don't want to believe in aliens, but you chose to believe in that? Come on now. Come
Yeah.
on now.
You chose to believe a man could part the Red Sea. You chose to believe that somebody could build an ark, and that we all, these are
But
the
we're
things.
not gonna do aliens. We're just that's where you draw your you're like absolutely not that. Everything else, yes.
And I mean, this is going to I hope I don't offend you, but I have to say this. So we are all descendants of Adam and Eve. Okay, so wait a second. So somebody's been sleeping with somebody. There's incest the whole way through then.
Oh yeah, I don't believe that I'm a
No, I
descendant of
don't either.
Adam
I'm
and
just
Eve.
like,
I do not. I'm learning more about star clusters and star seeds and lineage. I learned a lot about. I'm still learning about the Moors who were actually on American soil, so they're Black people. I'm learning about a lot of stuff, and the more that I learn about it, the more I'm excited to see what unfolds. And quite frankly, believe whatever you want to believe as long as
mhm,
it's not rooted in fear,
exactly.
and as long as it's in openness for everyone else. I think
Hmm.
it's funny to choose to believe Jesus is this one way, this one thing, you know.
Well, and what's scarier even now is the people that will sit there and scream they're Christian, but yet they don't want to follow Jesus's teaching now. It's like,
I'm like, oh, we can pick and choose now. Okay, respect, respect,
you're gonna
respect.
criticize this, but you're eating your shellfish, wearing your polyester, and
So
and no offense to my listeners who may be Christian. I'm
all
not trying to
offense.
blast. I'm not trying to blast you.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No.
It's just one of those things where you got to stop and really look.
It's the deep breath. It's taking the deep breath and I told you the duality. Like stop, not always taking things as it comes, but like doing different with your perception. And this is the question that I had to ask myself, right? Because I did not like being black, and the world doesn't like black. Like, what about me is so is so daunting? What about me needs to be pushed down? When I figured out me shining so bright literally creates change and ripples, and stepping into that truth is what actual change is. Oh my goodness, that changed the game for me. That made me love deeper, connect more, open my circle. The sun, when the sun is shining, it's hitting everyone. It doesn't just shine on some of the people. And so when we talk about like Christianity, because I was a Christian, I call myself a Buddhist Christian witch, and whatever else comes to me, I think asking yourself, what is the true meaning of whatever you're getting? Like, what is the information you're getting? What does it actually mean? And why is it this way? Once you ask yourself that, it'll change your perception for everything. It doesn't really matter what color Jesus is, right? Even though he's from Africa, so like geography, fine. But if that hurts your feelings, then why does it hurt your feelings that Jesus could be black? Why? Ask yourself that. Why does he have to look like you in order to follow? So all of these perceptions. And just keep snowballing with yourself, and maybe that'll lead you into aliens. Then maybe you'll get there. Who knows?
Your spirituality, your religion should be personal. And if you want to hodgepodge it together, why not? Why? I mean, if you really look at it, and that's one thing in my book, I wrote the creation story about Isis, the creation story with Isis and Osiris. And I had a friend who is Christian. I only put a little bit of the story in there, and she's like, well, I want to know more. And I'm like, really? Okay. So I expanded it. But the fact is, the creation story has been passed on from all sorts of different religions. It has different origins, but yet, so you really need to expand it. Now, on a lighter note, my husband, who was not really a practicing Christian or anything, he says one day, he's like, it was around Easter, he's like, so, I'm like, what? He goes, so was Jesus the first zombie?
Zombie? Okay.
Yes. I'm like, well, I never thought about that, but I guess
he did come back.
Yeah, I guess you were kind of right.
Okay.
No offense, but yeah, I mean, it makes you kind of like, okay, you're thinking outside the box. I'll give you that. Just don't say that to anybody. They'll lose their shit.
Just tell me.
As I've just announced it now, but
I love that you say no offense. I don't say no offense ever, because if it offends you, then you gotta figure out, because it's what we're saying is not anything horrible and terrible. And so if it actually offends you, DM me. Let's have a conversation. I love to talk, if you guys could not tell. So DM me and be like, hey, at this time marker, you said this. Then we'll go.
There is also, well, see, for me as an author, I think that's why the no offense comes up so much, is because now as an author, you better have trigger warnings.
In general, always protecting other people. And that's empathy, right? Radical empathy is.
But I mean, growing up in the 80s, we didn't have trigger warnings.
Yeah, but that's like learning. Don't you wish you did? I hate during Halloween is my least favorite month, because there are so many scary ads on YouTube, and it makes me so mad, because I am the scariest cat, and I'm like, why don't they let us know that it's going to be a scary ad? That's so freaking rude. I don't want to see that. Not everybody wants to see your scary freaking movies. So yes, I wish there were trigger warnings I love when I'm watching a TikTok and they say trigger warning, this is the topic, because sometimes I'm in the mood to live in the truth of what's happening, and sometimes I'm not. That's just the courtesy of being like, hey, it's about to get real weird in here. And I do that on stage, actually. I'm like, hey, if you're in the front row, I'm going to touch on you. If you don't want to be touched, here's the safe word. But I'm coming.
And that's the thing. It's like, for me, it's like I wasn't used to it. So now I'll say no offense, because I don't want to offend somebody. I don't want to trigger somebody. But
but you might offend someone, because that's just people.
Well, this is true. The sky could be green one day, and
someone's like, it's still blue. It's still blue.
Exactly. So is there anything that we haven't talked about that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I think all your listeners think I'm a little crazy, and I am a lot of crazy.
Well, you've been on before. I mean,
a lot of crazy. And good. Yeah. They should know I'm ever evolving. And tomorrow I might change my opinion on something. And that's okay. Don't take anything I say too serious. because everything matters and nothing matters.
Well, that's the thing though, with evolving, your opinion gets to change.
Yeah. I hope so. I hope so. I love learning about myself, and yeah. I
As you
used
get
to not. Now I'm really into it.
But as you get older, your opinion changes. It goes from one thing to another, and that's just life. Because as you educate and you grow, you're going to change.
Yeah, I know one thing that won't change. I like money, so give me your money. That's what we didn't talk about.
Which all your stuff will be on the Shopify. Is that going to be linked? Is
Yeah,
that linked to your website?
it is gonna be linked to my web. We literally got it live yesterday. Yeah, so it should be on my website very soon. But it's on my Instagram as always. That link in the bio. Yeah,
It's
if you want to connect with me, link in bio always.
and it's pretty awesome now, like with Shopify and stuff, that you can create your stuff on demand.
Yeah, so I use Printify,
Mm-hmm.
LOL, Printify to Shopify, to create all my stuff. So it's really fun and it's really awesome. And my friend, she does Shopify web design, so she like redesigned it and it's so freaking cute and it's so
Nice,
me. And
nice,
yeah, yeah.
nice. Well, I thank you for coming on.
Yes, thank you for having me. I always enjoy our conversations. And
I
yeah,
do
to
too.
all your listeners, I see you, I love you, and yeah, good luck
Thanks,
with 2024.
thanks, Kingsley. I always love when a guest comes back because it's kind of like catching up and seeing where they're at. And Kingsley, well, she has been a lot of places since we last talked, and she's got new music coming out and big plans for that music. So I think if you haven't checked her out yet, you definitely need to check her out now. And I kind of laughed about the story about the Tinder thing because she's right. If you're gullible enough to send somebody $10 for a picture, well, you know, is it really, do you really know what you're getting yourself into? Think about that. Not saying that people don't send things, but sometimes you just have to wonder, especially on an app like Tinder. Because how do you even know that you're really dealing with that person and it's not a bot or somebody else? But that's beside the point. When we talk about religion and history and all those things repeating itself, I know I said no offense, and I didn't mean any offense if I did offend anybody. I apologize. But I think it's a conversation worth having because those things, they're right there for us to notice. As we said, to think that somebody was of certain ancestry when they're in a certain place, just because we're told that's what it is, we're not investigating the truth. And sometimes, especially now with the time of AI coming, we need to wholeheartedly look at the actual truth. And that's not what is being told to us all the time. We need to use our own sources of investigation and figure out, is this really happening? Is this really what I need to know? Is this really the truth? And then go from there to be able to make an informed choice and an informed decision. And I think that also comes down to who we are. We need to really look at ourselves. We need to stop and really think, kind of like what Kingsley was saying, really think about our belief system. Think about who we are at our core. Why are we this way? And even as we've talked about before in the podcast, even looking at our families and thinking about how do they fit into our lives? What trauma did they bring? What happiness did they bring? And how did they help create us? So today, besides checking out Kingsley's music, I enjoyed talking to her. And I think the conversation, like I said, it's free flowing. And I enjoy having somebody that's as energetic and bubbly and so self assured because it's a lesson that we all can learn. We all need to know that our value is important, our worth is important, and that we shouldn't look outside of ourselves for that validation, that we need to own ourselves and be happy with who we are. No matter what, as I said, maybe we don't always want to go on that journey. Maybe sometimes that journey can be too complicated for us and create problems. But it's a journey worth learning. It's a journey worth taking because those lessons are there to make us who we are. And if you're like me, you believe you signed up for it before you even got here. So, on that note, look at your journey and take some time with yourself and go listen to Kingsley. She's got some good music out. So, on that note, as always, Rich Zai from 30 Year Audio has produced the audio. Fast Susie has done the intro and outro songs. And, well, whenever you're listening to this, I appreciate it. So, if you're listening to it in the evening, the weekend, or even during the day, I appreciate your time. And as always, Have a great day, and I'll catch you next time, guys. Bye.